Welcome to Red Bandana Gaming, the channel where Logan will show you everything from gameplay to gear. Their crew is here to take you on a journey through every atmosphere. Releases to news, you don't have to choose. Red Bandana Gaming is here for you.
Hey everybody, it's Logan here, and today I'm talking about something that is not so typical for the channel, I guess. It's news, but as you can see, it's the closure of the Microsoft stores. It's sad that this is happening. I'm pretty sure Microsoft's doing it to kind of trim the fat, as you could say, like they've done with Mixer. Getting rid of Mixer, getting rid of the Microsoft stores. And one thing that I don't usually tell people is I used to work in a Microsoft store. It's, you know, something I don't usually put out there just because, but I figure maybe I should tell the story since all the stores are closing and I still have a lot of friends that work there, that work at multiple stores, and it's sad. It really is sad. In late 2017, previous to the Microsoft store, I worked at Best Buy for 11 and a half years. I worked my last year and a half at in the computer section under the Microsoft banner. I was branded. I was a Microsoft expert. I worked for Microsoft and Best Buy. And then I got laid off due to some really awful reasons that, not for this video. I'll get into that in another video. May not even talk about it. It's bad. It's nothing to do with me. Has to do with problems of a higher up nature. So moving on, I left Best Buy, and then within a month I got I knew people at Microsoft, and it was no problem getting in. And then within a month I got my interview. I got a call within just a couple weeks. I got my interview, did the interview. I was actually in Colorado at the time. I had to do a phone interview. Came back to do a face-to-face interview. Got it, no problem. My soon-to-be boss at that Microsoft store worked as a boss for me previously. So it wasn't too hard to, you know, impress him because he knew my qualities. So I started working for the company. I really liked working at the Microsoft store. I was only there for around 2.5 months. I had to leave because I did get an opportunity for a store that was closer to me, not Microsoft, but GameStop. But again, that's also a story for another video. But from the store that I was working at, I live about, I'd say 25 to 30 miles north of there. The traffic for any of you guys know, it's Miami, south of Miami. Trying to get there from far north, from about 30 miles north, to open a store at 9 a.m. It was a pain. Sometimes it took me about 3 hours to get to work. I was constantly late because of traffic. I didn't know what time to leave. I would leave, at some points I would have to leave 3 hours at 6 a.m. in order to get there. And they were paying me very, very well. But from the time that I left in the morning to the time I got home, when I'd be gone so long and then be stuck in traffic for hours, my schedule, my wife's work schedule at the time, well, it was before we got married, it wasn't good. It was really much of a pain. That's the part of the big reason I quit, and along with the offer from the other company. But Microsoft pays very well. It was a great company to work for. The store was super dead. I was the gaming expert, hence the Microsoft stuff. I decided to pull this out for the show. for the episode, I should say, but it still has the Microsoft. Now, why did I keep this? I have this in a blue one, but I decided to keep those because they're just thick enough that I guess South Florida winter, Florida winter, they're very comfortable. A little bright, but you can put another jacket on over or something like that to tone it down. But they're very comfortable, and they're very high quality. So I worked there as the gaming expert. I was in charge of all the gaming stuff. I ran the tournaments. I set those up. The VR experience, the Xbox, everything. I came in above other people. So there were some guys there that were a little salty, but since they liked me, after a while they got over it, and it was cool. I liked pretty much everybody I worked with. I just hated the commute, and I ended up leaving right before Christmas. I worked there through pretty much through the holidays up until right before Christmas of 2017. So it was only a little more than 2 months. I don't have anything bad to say about the stores. I love them. That's where I bought my Xbox One X on launch. That was cool. The only thing is the stores were so dead. I got a Surface from them, which was really cool. Otherwise, I would sit and spend my days playing VR because that was the big thing. The mixed reality would play that quite a bit. Otherwise, I'd sit on the Xbox and play Forza. And I felt like I was wasting my time. I was working retail for 11 and a half, no longer than that, because I started retail in 2001. So it was about 17 years that I had, just a little under 17 years, about 16 years that I've been working retail, and I decided I was done. And after that, I left, went back to school, did take the GameStop job for a little bit of time, and then my wife and I, right before we got married, we opened up our own company, and well, the rest is history. If you guys see on the website and everything, we own our own company, and it's much better than working retail. So that's my story with Microsoft. People were there. I mean, everybody was great. I liked everybody I worked with. We were a melting pot. Talk about diversity. It was amazing. Everybody was so different, yet everybody was really nice. Some of them weren't too thrilled when I left so quickly, but things just weren't working out for me. And I did apologize. I was like, I'm sorry that I'm leaving, but hey, this is how it is, and it is what it is. So that's life. I still have friends that work there, and it's a shame. It really is a shame. I hope Microsoft takes care of them. Microsoft is known for taking care of their employees, so hopefully things work out. But the stores were really nice. They were set up as not really as a shopping experience, but as an experience, if that makes any sense. You would come into the store, and it was all about what we could teach you, what we could show you, how you were being treated and talked to as a person, not as in, hey, let's sell you this. Yes, selling was a big thing, but there were some days where one of my first days there, we made $1,500. And we were in the biggest, the busiest mall in South Florida. And $1,500. Crazy. But it is what it is. And it's a shame to see these Microsoft stores close. I guess they're leaving 4 of the flagship stores across the world. I think they said 4. But they're now going to be called experience centers, I guess. But still, hey, yeah, it's kind of sad to see these stores close. That's where I planned on picking up. Well, there was one closer to me. That's the one I wanted to work at. It was much closer. But that's where I planned up picking up my Series X when it's to come out. Now it looks like I don't know where I'm going to pick it up. Probably GameStop. Yeah. So it's sad. I know not our typical video game stuff, but since it does have to do with me and my personal experiences, I did work as their gaming expert, the head of the gaming, blah 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 blah. So, yeah, it's some sad news to hear that, but I guess Microsoft is trying to trim the fat, and with everything that is going on in the world today, every company needs to save, even the big ones, and cut rid of the things that I guess are just not working. And the stores, I'm sorry, when I was 8 hours a day sitting on a bench playing some VR, I almost beat Super Lucky's Tale, let's say that, on Oculus Rift. Yeah, because we had that hooked up out in the experience center, in the center right in front of the store. You have the big TVs and the VR. Sometimes people would play, sometimes they wouldn't, and we would take shifts, and I sat there and just beat the whole game. Pretty much. I think I got to one of the last few levels, and and at that point I was like, nah, this isn't for me. I'm getting too old to do retail or just sell this kind of stuff. I wanted more. I wanted to work higher up. I wanted to actually put my skills, my degree, and everything to use, and I just wasn't doing it there. So part of me leaving was actually finishing my bachelor's and getting another degree in my field. So I'm just about, thank you pandemic, pushed it back, but I'm graduating this year with another degree, and there we go. And that's my story with Microsoft and the Microsoft Store, and it's sad. And I just had a friend not too long ago, I want to say the end of last year, who I worked with at Best Buy, get hired at the Microsoft Store that I wanted to work at, the one closer to me, as management. And now I got to reach out to him. I haven't talked to any of the guys there about this since I just read it today. So sorry to hear it, guys, and keep you guys in my hearts. Thank you guys so much for watching. That's my story. That's my take. It's a pretty sad video, but thank you guys for watching. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, don't worry, there won't be too many more. I don't think there'll be any of these sad videos unless people want to know about my history with said companies. But I have nothing bad to say about Microsoft, nor their retails or their employees. I loved it. I just didn't. It wasn't for me. It just wasn't for me. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Like we always say, be legendary. Thanks again.